Yo, it's 3000, and this video was a long time coming. This goes beyond me creating videos for YouTube. This was something I always wanted to sit down and talk about for years, actually. Like, this is going on over 5 years. I've always wanted to sit down and talk about this story. My story was Super Smash Bros. I always felt like my story with Smashy Bros is so like unique and special, that it's so special that I can just make a video for it and just watch it myself over and over and over again. But since what I do nowadays, with streaming and making content, it's like, why not just record me with my PC, with my camera, my nice camera, and just upload it on YouTube, and whoever want to listen to it can listen to it. So yeah, now this video is so special to me that I'm actually not gonna wing it. Well, I'm gonna wing like the stories. Like, I ain't write the script, but I did write down a bunch of sections or chapters, and I'll actually might not be lazy and put the actual chapters in the video, who knows. But yeah, so there's like, there's a lot. Let me count. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and 13, I guess. But some stories may be longer than others. Like, if I'm looking at some, I might not react for like more than 2 minutes about it. Yeah, so with that being said, let's start the story. My Smashy Bros story. Also, if I forget key things, I'm gonna be so mad at myself. It's July 5th. It was July 4th. I don't like July 4th. I mean, some personal stuff. I might talk about it one day, but it's really personal. I don't really like July 4th. If you somehow hear fireworks, that's why. And yeah. It's 1:53 a.m. I'm not tired. I'm really a night owl right now. So let's just do it. Alright, so the beginning of my Super Smash Bros. Story. So it's actually a silly one. So, back when I was like, I forget the year. It's somewhere between 2008 to 2010. I had got a Wii for Christmas, and it was a cool. I got the Wii Sports, creating Mii's, had Wii Resort, and it was all fun. But I really realized like I needed a game, so that's when my dad took me to the GameStop to get me a game. Now, I really liked Mario. I don't know how. I don't know when I started really liking Mario, but I really liked Mario. So when I went to the store, I saw 2 things. I saw Mario Kart Wii and I saw Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Now, I got Mario Kart Wii, but I would have got Super Smash Bros. Brawl if it wasn't for a single thing. Now, this is the box art for Super Smash Bros. Brawl. It's iconic. It's a really good box art. Now, could you guess why? What minute detail would be the reason why I didn't get this and I got Mario Kart Wii over it? I'll tell you why. It's the fact that it looks like Mario is holding a goddamn club that a goddamn caveman would like use back in a whole millennium ago. I was so scared of the idea of Mario holding a club, I didn't get this game. So I just got the second option, Mario Kart Wii. Now, this is technically, I could consider my very first video game of all time. Like, the Wii was my first system besides the VTech. I'm not killing the VTech, but this is like the very first real game I got for the Wii. And do I regret it? No. This game means a lot to me. It's so much nostalgia, the music, the characters, how the game played. I love this game, and I wouldn't go back in time to see a different outcome of what happened if I did choose Brawl that day. But yeah, it's super crazy. Like, I really loved Mario, and I wouldn't want to see a violent Mario goddamn beating Pikachu shit with a goddamn club. Also, the fact that it was these crossovers, I really thought as a kid it was cool. It's like, it's Pikachu and that's Ash Ketchum. Does he know? Like, it was cool, but the violence, I was scared. So yeah, that's really it. And I wouldn't really care about Super Smash Bros. For a long time. Now, you got Smash Flash. Now, it's nothing crazy. I used to go to my aunt's house. She had a computer, and Smash Flash would disappear. You know, it's like a ton of, Flash games. You go on Y8, Frib.com. You could play like the Nick, the Cartoon Networks. I somehow come across Super Smash Flash. I bet you all know what Super Smash Flash is. Everybody has played it at one point if you were in school and you had a Chromebook. It just makes sense. So yeah, it was just cool game, I was like, wait, do I know this? And it was what I thought it was. Kinda just made by fans and kinda plays kinda weird and has Mr. Incredible and weird Sonic characters that aren't Sonic characters. And has Sonic. I love Sonic. It was a weird game, but I kind of liked it. It was jank. I was too young to understand what a bad kind of game was. I played anything. My nigga, I liked Sonic 06, bro, Sonic 06? Sonic 06 is literally my wallpaper. It's been my wallpaper ever since I got my PC, or my main wallpaper. I change this time to time, but I always come back to it. I was too young to know what glitches and bad game design was. Hey, but it was fun. But it's not really the spark that gave me my love for Smash Bros. All I thought was it was a cool game. Now, this is where the real story begins. This is where the love kind of starts. And this is where it just gets so interesting. So boom, most people's first Smash games is 64, is Melee, and most commonly is Brawl. But mine's was actually Smash 4 for the 3DS. So look, my 10th birthday, 2014, November 21st. My aunt, rest in peace, my aunt gave me a Nintendo 3DS XL, the Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds edition, when Link go on the walls and shit like that. It was tough. And then I got Mario Kart 7 along with it. And it was just fun. So you move forward and I see commercials for Smash 3DS. I'm like, oh, Mario not looking so violent this time. So I wanted it. And I thought back to Smash Flash. I'm like, ooh, let me get this. I got the 3DS. It looks tough. Let me get this. I didn't know how I was gonna get it though. I'm not the type. I was never the type to like really ask my parents for games. like it was actually kind of crazy. So I used to play football and we won the championship. I'm like, Dad, if we win the championship, can you buy me a game? And he said, yeah. We won that game and he proceeded to take me to GameStop and got me the Smash 4 for 3DS. And that's pretty cool. I mean, actually it's pretty sad. Like both of the GameStops where I got my Mario Kart Wii and my Smash 4, they both got closed down and got replaced for other stores. It actually hurt me on the inside. It's like, dang, like, but it's all right. It's not a big deal. So yeah, so I play the game and it's fun as hell, but I'm not using no anime looking characters. Like I'm only using like the Mario characters, like the cartoony characters, no Fire Emblem characters, no Shulk, which hurts my soul because Shulk is actually my second favorite video game character of all time, and Xenoblade Chronicles is one of my favorite games of all time. Like I just didn't do that, but I had fun. Like I remember like, what's weird? I remember just picking Dr. Mario, going to the toilet and taking a goddamn, and playing the game. That's like my main memory of me playing Smash 4. But I remember taking it to the Boys and Girls Club and playing it and all of that. And that's until somebody goddamn stole all of my games, all of my 3DS games. One day I just took all my 3DS games, all my DS games to the Boys and Girls Club. Somebody stole them. And to make it worse, I took my 3DS to school one day and somebody stole it. It was so terrible, bro. And whoever did that, genuinely, I'm not gonna say it, but genuinely, bro. So yeah. And then after that, like I just played normal games. I just, you know, I think I moved more into playing my Xbox 360. Like I stopped playing like on the Wii and all of that. And yeah. Now buckle up, cause this is super strange in my opinion. Like, how did this happen? So y'all know how, like I said, like Smash 4 is my first Smash game. Well, I don't count it as my first Smash game technically, cause even though it was my first Smash game, I still consider Brawl my first Smash game. And you wanna know how? I'll tell you how. But to tell you how, I'm gonna have to go a little back. So it's like, 2017. It's like 2017. And Smash Flash 2 beta is out. Smash Flash 2 beta. Now, oh my God, how did they do this? They legitimately put like a really good Smash game on the computer for free. And it had Naruto Uzumaki. I mean, I think Naruto was in Smash Flash, but like I didn't unlock him or didn't see him. But it had Naruto Uzumaki, it had Luffy, it had Goku, it had so many cool characters. It had Pac-Man, Smash 4 Pac-Man. It felt like I was playing Smash 4 on the computer, bro. I was in love. I was in love with Smash Flash 2, bro. I'm like, wait, I should get Smash Brawl. I have a Wii at home. I started playing. I had got a new Wii at the time. My grandmom had got me a new Nintendo Wii. So I just asked my mom for Smash Brawl and she got me Smash Brawl. And the day it came, oh my God. Bro, when I tell you, it was so much fun. And here's a fun fact. When I was playing Smash Flash 2, I was a Ness main. And when I say, when I'm getting Brawl, I main a Ness. I love his moveset. And what would happen is so crazy. So in Smash Brawl, Ness was actually locked from the start. I believe you had to play like 5 matches to get him. So I'm like, yo, who is the closest thing to Ness? Like, who am I about to play until I unlock Ness? I played Lucas. And I actually played Lucas and kept playing Lucas. His moveset was so much more fun and better than Ness. You got the multi-hit and PK Thunder. You got the, the one-shot PK Fire. His down B was more swaggy. His aerials was more swaggy. Lucas was the GOAT, bro. He became one of my favorite video game characters. Easily, bro. I loved him so much, bro. LM4L. I shouted that every single day. Lucas main for life. By the way, that didn't last that long. But we're not going to get into that now. I love Lucas, but more importantly, I love Smash Bros. Brawl. I love playing Smash. And this was a developing, like, critical love for this goddamn series, bro. Like, I couldn't stop talking about Smash. When I was in school, when I was at home, to my family, to my siblings, everybody knew I liked Smash. And when I was at the Boys and Girls Club at the time, we had a game room, and we would go in there, and we would actually bring like a Nintendo Wii. We would play Smash Brawl, but actually, they actually had a Nintendo 64 and a GameCube, and they had Smash 64. I know there's a picture on my phone of the cartridge. I'll probably put it here. And there was a GameCube, and we played Melee. And I actually still have the disc that Mr. Wesley actually let me have, and I have the GameCube controllers that he let me have. They're over there. I'm not gonna get it. You believe me? I have the disc. I have the GameCube controllers too. And those were the GameCube controllers I used for a long time to play Brawl when I learned GameCube controller. Like, shout out to the controllers. So much history, bro. I just love Smash. I was able to play it when I got home. I used to play after school when I go to Boys and Girls Club. Smash. My life was amazing. And funny story, but there was a time where I got in trouble for sneaking my system out the house and whatnot. And I couldn't play Smash for a week. It was actually torture. I'm not gonna lie. It was torture. It was so bad. But yeah, that's just how much I loved it. But you know, time will go on, and what happened was crazy. March 7th, 2018. Now, to you, that might be a normal day. But to me, to Smash fans, it was a day in history. Nintendo Direct. Most fire Direct of all time. I was always watching the Nintendo Directs. I was always, you know what I mean? It was nice, like seeing all the Switch niggas get games, you know. I was cool watching Let's Plays, like Dashy, bro. I watched him play Mario Kart 8, bro. And I was cool with gonna watching him play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I was cool with it. And then, you know, the final trailer. My nigga, they were making Smash for Switch, dog. And that was when I was like, I need a Nintendo Switch. Like I just said, I could have lived my entire life without a Nintendo Switch. I was cool playing my Xbox, probably playing Fortnite or some shit with my friends. Like I was cool with my Wii and playing Smash Brawl. Like I didn't care. I had the perfect Smash life in my opinion. You know what I mean? I was cool without a Switch. I wasn't really into Nintendo games. But when I saw that trailer, I'm like, yep, I'm getting this Nintendo Switch. Man, the hype was real, bro. The hype was really real. I couldn't stop thinking about the way that there was a new Smash game coming the same year. The same years. It was on my mind. It was just on my mind. And I just couldn't wait until E3 because surely it had to be at E3. So on June 12th, 2018, the last day of 7th grade, I believe, you know, E3, you know, I watched it. And then that iconic showcase of Smash Ultimate and the Everyone Is Here trailer with the GOAT Masahiro Sakurai. And I'm just going to add this here. I had a real crazy obsession with Sakurai, bro. Now, looking back at it, was it a little weird? Yes. But do I regret it? No. To this day, I respect Masahiro Sakurai so much, and I still thank him for giving us Smash Bros. Because, you know, it just brought so much joy to me, and it meant so much to me, man. So yeah, and the hype was real, bro. All the character reveals, all the hype, it was amazing. And how I would see the hype on my phone, on Instagram.com. Couple Smash pages, but one of them in specific, it was called Smash Bits. Those are the fireworks, if you can hear them. Now, this account called Smash Bits, I actually used to keep up with it like before Ultimate. That was like a Smash. It was like a Smash page I used to just follow, and it was cool. I used to see others from time to time, but this was my main one. But this person actually took the name Smash Ultimate and just built a crazy Instagram account off of Smash Ultimate. And now he got like over 100K followers. So yeah, I thought it was really cool that, oh my, hey, you can make a Smash Bros account and just, you know, talk about Smash. Oh, that's cool. Shrugged it off. It was just nice seeing it on my timeline, you know, seeing different stuff. All I would see is news and stuff with my friends and whatnot. Nothing crazy, but when I got to see Smash and see other people like Smash, I'm like, it's cool. Now, the time was counting down for my birthday. All I wanted for my birthday was a Nintendo Switch, but more importantly, they announced a Smash Bros. Ultimate Edition Nintendo Switch, and I'm like, wow, I want that for my birthday. But I wasn't sure if I was going to get it. I'm not gonna lie. Looking back, I wasn't the best at school, grade-wise or behavior-wise. I was a dickhead, bro. I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I couldn't do science and social studies. I couldn't do it. I thought it was Jover. I was not getting that Switch, bro. It was Jover. I would mope around, bro. I would literally mope around. And then it was my birthday, my 14th birthday, November 21st, 2018. And you know, I wake up miserable basically, knowing that it's Jover. And I'm about to go outside to get my Uber to school. And my dad says, Kasir, you should have a good day. I'm like, bro, I'm like, yo, no way, bro. I just knew it. Like I knew it. I'm like, yo, there's no way. There's no fucking way, dog. So boom. He pick us up. I believe we went somewhere where we go see a movie or something like that. And then yeah. But then after that, we go to goddamn Walmart. And you know what? I know this is a YouTube video, but I'm gonna hit my soundboard. Actually, I'm not gonna get copyrighted, no. We went to Walmart and I'm like, oh my God, it's happening. I literally pull out my phone and put on my story. It's happening. I don't know if that's the exact words, but I'll probably put it on here. I'm like, it's happening. We go to the back where the delivery section at, and I see my dad grab a Nintendo Switch. Bro, I walk away to the bike section. I start crying. Straight up crying, bro. I start straight up crying, bro, because like, I'm not gonna cry now, because it's like, that's when I felt like, yo, I'm so grateful for this, but it just showed me something about my dad. Like, he believed in me. He believed in me, bro. Like, I know what I was doing at school. I'm sure he knew, but he knew how important this was to me and how much I wanted it, bro. Shit, even leading up to Smash Bros. Ultimate, we had went to the mall, and I think he saw how happy I was when I was able to play that demo. I was so happy. I think I got a video of it too. I'll show it. It was crazy. I started crying, bro. I hugged him. And then, yeah. So now the worst part happened. Waiting until December 7th. Man, it was crazy, bro. It was crazy. So, you know, I was like, damn, Dad, I don't got no games on it. I'm like, can I get a game? I got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I'm happy I did. Me and Mario Kart 8 go way back. I'm talking about when it first came out. I used to go to Target and play that bill all the time, dog. Use the goddamn four-wheeler with the big-ass wheels. Mario Circuit, or what is it? What's the Mario Circuit of that game? Mario Stadium. So nostalgic, bro. After all that time watching literally every single Dashy Mario Kart 8 video, and now I own the game, kinda. It was. I'm glad I got it. So yeah, just had to wait until the 7th. Shit, I got so desperate for a platform fighter. I downloaded Brawlhalla. Only broke niggas got Brawlhalla. You only play Brawlhalla if you don't own Super Smash Bros. And yeah. By the way, I still have my original Switch. You probably see that there's one right here. I'll get to that later, actually. And I have another one over there. But yeah. It's kind of crazy, bro. I'll never get rid of it. I'll never sell it. It just means so much to me, honestly. But back to it. We almost done this section. It was really hard waiting for Smash Ultimate, cause even though it was so close, it felt so far away, bro. It was to the point where I would cry, nigga. I would cry at the fact that the game was like 2 days away. It was 2 days away, bro. It was crazy. But hey, it was cool. December 7th arrived. And again, I'm waiting for Smash Bros to come out at 12. Well, I killed time by actually watching my favorite YouTuber at the time, Nathaniel Bandy, watch the Game Awards. I don't know what the Game Awards was. I didn't care. All I know is that Nathaniel Bandy was live, so I was gonna watch him. My nigga, tell me why they announced a goddamn DLC character for the game, being Joker from Persona 5. Now, what's crazy is I actually knew who Joker was. It's kinda weird. All I remember is Sakurai talking about Persona 5 and how the menu was inspired by that game, and Alfred used to yap about how he wanted to smash, like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's simple stuff. All right, damn, they putting this thing in the game? I was down. Fuck it. But hey, that don't really matter. The game is out. So I opened the game and I started crying, bro. I started crying. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I started crying. It was crazy. And then the worst shit happened. I may have been a little too loud, and it may have been past my bedtime. See, 2000 used to have a bedtime at 9 o'clock. So, since I was technically up past 9, my ass got in trouble. My stepmom snitched on my, then I lost my Switch for a week. I couldn't play Smash for a week, bro. And oh my God, bro. That week was hell. Like when I couldn't play Brawl for a week, this week was hell because like the game just dropped. All this anticipation for me to get grounded for a week, bro. What the hell? Anyways, ooh, Friday. Ooh, the weekend. I'm about to play Smash. I'm not gonna tell this story. That's useless. But let's just say I played Smash instead of Smash. Let's just say that. Anyways, next month, January 2019, new year, new me. It's not what I said because I don't believe in that. What are we really doing with that? Anyways, January 6th, 2019 is the day I sat down in my room and decided to create a Smash Bros account on Instagram, inspired by the multiple Smash pages I saw. But the main one, Smash Bits / Smash Ultimate. I named this account SMASHAHOLIC. Now, the name, you know, is self-explanatory. I was an alcoholic, but with Smash. Smashaholic. I was addicted to the shit. I couldn't get enough of it. I loved Smash, nigga. You know what? Like, you don't understand. Like, you would look at me now and be like, this nigga didn't like Smash, nigga. I love Smash, bro. There was a time and period where I really loved Smash more than my family, nigga. You gotta believe me, bro. It was that bad. And yeah, but you know, I didn't think it would go nowhere. Like, bro, ain't no way. Like, you know, I didn't even know what hashtags was. I was gonna be posting without hashtags. My account was gonna have one follower, which was me forever. And that's when I went to an account called the Smash Community for advice. He said use his hashtags. It was about 30 hashtags, and I started putting them on posts, and people started following me. I would post Smash memes, and people started following me, and I started making friends. No, like who liked what I liked. Now I live in Philly. Niggas don't like goddamn Nintendo. They like Call of Duty and Fortnite and basketballs. I just had nobody to relate to, basically, bruh. So that was actually another reason why I made the account. Hoping that I would find people, but I didn't think I would. But luckily, I was able to find some people and start to grow a following from just posting Smash page. I mean, just posting Smash me. And my first wave of Smash friends is like very special, bruh. You know, the Smash, the Smash Grammars, or the, you know, the whatever that group chat was. Shout out to Jade who invited me to it. She found me and she invited me. That's how I met like a good friend, Nintendo World. You know, shout out to Tim. I met Replays and Georgia. You know, I met Poyo. I met my guy Wonder. I met Margaret. I met so many good people at the beginning of my Smash journey, or my Smashaholic journey. It was nice. So yeah, but yeah, through time I would keep on posting memes, but I would actually show originality. Like, one thing with Smash pages, they were all like the same to me. Like they lacked personality. It was just like posting Smash. Like, where's the personality? So I started posting stories. I was spamming stories, bruh. I was spamming stories. I used to post like 30, 40 stories a day, bruh. But people would interact, and they fell in love with who I am, not just the Smash Bros memes, but who I was. And I really appreciated that. So yeah, and I remember when I first hit 1,000 followers, which is insane. And you know, it kept growing, 2,000, 3,000. Like, you know, the summer, 2019 summer was crazy. It was Insta Smash 2. Insta Smash. Ooh, don't get me in Insta Smash. Y'all probably don't know what Insta Smash is. But Insta Smash 2, Insta Smash in 2019 was peak. It was peak, bro. The community was so lit, bro. We had an Insta Smash group chat. We just collabed and stuff. Man, it was just a good time in the community, bro. You know, I'd grow some more. When I hit 4,000, I just stopped growing for some reason, and that's when like I started posting whatever. But here's a small little thing, like that's when I first played Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's my favorite game of all time. And that really changed the trajectory of how things would go. But in 2020, in March, and actually in February, things would change. So it was actually Ken Master's birthday. Now, I didn't really explain this at the beginning of the story, but I did main Ken at first. I did grow up loving Ken from Street Fighter, you know, because we share the same name. And yeah, it was his birthday. I guess it's on Valentine's Day is Ken's birthday. And I was like, yo, you know what? Let's lock the fuck back in. I made Ken my profile picture again. I started posting memes like crazy. And I was getting traction again, bro. And in March, we hit 5,000, bro. It was actually insane. I was stuck for a long time. And to hit that milestone, it was crazy. And I'm like, bro, let's go bigger. In 2020, even though, you know, for a lot of people it wasn't, you know, I will get into why 2020 is my favorite year another day. But yeah, I was going for the stars, bro. And in August, I had hit 10,000 followers on Instagram. It was a big milestone for me personally because never in a million years would I think like, I hit 10,000 followers. 10,000 followers, 10,000 people hit the follow button. And plus more, because I got a lot of unfollows. So shoot, I probably got like more than that. But yeah, it was pretty cool. But that's when it all went downhill. But hey, I do want to shout out some more people I met during the time. Like, you know, Smash them. And Smash Bros. Memes. Shout out to Smash SSBU fans. You know, shout out for Smash Ultimate Ego for like, you know, befriending me. You know, shout out to Karina, Jane, I met Ines, Kyle, Jayla, Jay. And just shout out to all of my mutuals, my mutuals I met from that account. You know who you are. If I didn't see your name, I mean, I don't know if they'll watch this, but you know who you are. If we talk, we're mutuals. I'm not gonna say friends, but we're mutuals, and I deep down I appreciate you. Like if you've been on a close friends of Holic Supreme, we're mutuals, and I fuck with you, and I know of you. But unfortunately, the same, and I hate talking about this because it's really unfortunate. I really loved Smash so much, and I wanted to just be around people who loved what I loved, and then the people who love what I love are the same people that made me start to fall out of love with Smash. 2020, you know, no school. I was playing Smash a lot, setting up arenas, all that, until one fateful day. There was an allegation. Of stuff that isn't good, you know, with Senna, whatever her name is, and Pepe, whatever the fuck their name is, I don't care. It was a serious allegation, bro, and it might have been true based off how Senna Pie, I think that's her name is, like she went off the radar. She touched that kid, and you know he came out with that, and it's funny because apparently he's a fan too. But let's not get into that. But allegations were starting to come out about really very important figures in the community. First was Nairo, and that shit was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. It was actually crazy, bro. Then you know you got stuff about D1 and Kataro and Anti. And you know what I did? I actually prayed that night and be like, please don't let Zero be one of these people. If y'all didn't know, Zero was actually my favorite YouTuber in 2019 going into 2020, bro. Lunchtime, he would post a video at 10 a.m. sharp every day basically. At lunchtime, I'm watching it, bro. In quarantine, I'm waking up, eating cinnamon toast crunch, I'm watching it, bro. I loved Zero. His content was just so good, and I feel like he was such an underrated content creator. He had great videos. So it would have sucked that if Zero was one. Now that's not saying I thought Zero was weird or anything. I just like, it's so random. I never would have thought these niggas would be weird like this at all. Genuinely. And then shit started to come about Zero, and you know, he said it was fake, and I was like, oh my god. And then he came out about it. I was done. I felt so betrayed, and I just felt so weirded out that like these people are like, you know, like what are we doing here? I don't want to go off topic, but it's like, what are we doing? Why is this attractive to you? Why do we make younger people do these type of things? Like, what are we doing? I started to fall out of love, and like the Insta Smash community was getting boring and toxic. And then one situation happened where I posted that edgy meme, and that got out of hand. And, you know, I was like, you know what? I'm done. I was done posting Smash memes. I was done with all of that, bro. And eventually, I even changed my name to SMASHAHOLIC because I fell in love with Kingdom Hearts, and I fell in love with Sora and the idea of him getting in Smash, which we thought wasn't happening. Hashtag Disney said no, if you know, you know. But, you know, that was like an end of an arc for me. But I was still going crazy. I still gained, like, I still hit 11K. And yeah, like, it was all good. You fast forward now, you know, you got all the DLC characters. It was cool. Like, you know, Sephiroth getting in was cool. I was actually pretty hyped for Min Min. Kazuya getting in was cool. Steve, I was the I don't want Steve in Smash guy. Like when Banjo got in, yeah, I was team Banjo over Steve as the Microsoft rep. When we knew a Microsoft rep was getting announced. But he got announced, everybody was shitting on me. I didn't care. But hey, what y'all got though? Was it worth it? Anyways, yeah. But a leak had came out saying that a certain someone was gonna drop on the 5th of October in 2021. And it was announced that a character, the final character, will be announced on October 2021. My nigga. Sora got into Smash. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I cried. The footage is unfortunately lost of all of everything because the SMASHAHOLIC account actually got deleted on some bullshit, but I still got something. If I can find it, I'll put it in here. But it was special, and I felt like that was like the perfect conclusion to my arc, bro. I always rooted for Sora to get in Smash, and all I dealt with was people saying that Sora never get in. Disney said no. They already added a Square Enix character. Disney was like, bro, I had to deal with that so many times, bro. And it was to the point where it's like, okay, maybe he's never getting in. Sephiroth got in, okay, bro. This was the ultimate like conclusion. Everybody knew all odds was on me that day, and I gained so many followers, bro. I was posting Kingdom Hearts content, Sora Smash content, everything, and I got to 12K followers, and that was nice. It was so nice. But after that, I really fell off of Smash. I wasn't playing it as much. Nothing. But moving forward a really long time, actually, in 2023, I actually met some of my best friends of all time through me streaming. At first, it was just like my viewers, like, you know, Zoe, Bio, Jay, Nas, Youngie, and Triggs, and a lot of other niggas. They was like actually my main niggas. So I made a group chat called The Inner Circle. So I was like, yeah, y'all my niggas. Thank y'all for tuning in and shit, type shit. But there was only 5 niggas that was like really, like we would, like I was getting like, whoa, like these not just my friends, like these not my viewers, these my friends, like these my brothers. I love these niggas, bro. And we would talk every day, bro. Shout out to Zoe, Nas, Jay, Bio, Youngie, bro. Triggs at another day, but shout out to them, bro. And we actually, me, Youngie, and Jay actually made the plan to go to Let's Make Big Moves in New York. This was my first Smash Bros. Major, and it was crazy. It was crazy. You know, me and Youngie took the train there. Actually, Jay had actually flew to Philly from Florida, and we all went there together. And bro, it was so crazy being there. And my love for Smash low-key came back, bro. It low-key came back. I was seeing some of my favorite players like MKLeo, who's my favorite player, and seeing them in person was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Now I'm a stubborn nigga, so I ain't asking him to take a pic, but like, that's my GOAT, bro. I remember when I walked past him, I'm like, yo, is that MKLeo? To Jay, he was like, yeah. You asked him for a picture? I'm like, nah, bro. He was like, yo, Leo. And I'm like, yo, what you doing? He said, he's a big fan. He waved at me. I'm like, yo, it was crazy. And yeah, and here is a small detail about something that would happen, basically. So they had a room with modded switches with HDR. It was a Smash Ultimate melee game. And basically it was fire, bro. Listen, Youngie was in the room dying, basically. And me and Jay just wanted to go back upstairs and play some HDR, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it was so fire. And let me just finish the Let's Make Big Moves story. Basically, it was a fun experience. Top 8 was fire. No Steve, it was fire. Top 8 was fire. I had a great time. And so fast forward, I'm like, bro, I want HDR. Can I download this on my PC? I couldn't download it on my PC. So what I did was actually I bought a modded Switch. Now, I was actually on this for a while. Modded Smash Bros. Actually brought me back to playing Smash, with friends a lot and playing online a lot. And HDR was fun. And like other things like the main menu. And I actually wanted to do other things like, mod Mario Kart and whatnot, but I didn't get to it. And I don't think I will anytime soon because, the Switch 2 is out and like I deleted all my mods. I don't use this no more because updating it and stuff was getting annoying. But yeah, I actually bought that and that got me back to playing it, which was nice. And I even bought me a custom controller. I love spraying chat from Finance of Freddy, so I just put him on there, spraying chat for Smash 6, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. Now in August 2024, we actually went to Supernova SmashCon, and oh my god, when I tell you that it was peak, bro, Supernova was peak. It was so peak. It was there with Jay, Youngie, John. Like, shout out to John. Like, I met John at Let's Make Big Moves and his girlfriend CC. And I met a lot of other cool people, but John and CC, they my dogs. I love them, bro. Shout out to my nigga John. This content is fire. And he gonna be up there one day. Trust, bro. But yeah, it was fire. Just staying there at night, playing Smash Bros with Jay, bro. Just like, yo. Like, this is so much. Like, I love this shit, bro. I love this shit. Just, again, making me love Smash again. Every time I'm at these events, I love Smash. It's a special experience, bro. Then we went home, and that was that. Yo, it was 2000. This is actually me editing. I actually forgot to mention that I actually did go to Let's Make Big Moves 2025. Not because, like, oh, I want to feel the feeling again. I wasn't actually going to go. I literally only went there just to see my man's John. I mean, Youngie allowed me to stay the night at his hotel, so I was there for the second day. Third day, watched top 8, and went straight home after that. It was a nice tournament. Steve wasn't banned for some reason, so it was less boring than last year, but I still had a good time. It's nice seeing John, nice seeing CC, nice playing Smashy Bros with some people. And I actually met SSBU fans for the first time, and really cool dude, real genuine dude. We talked about a lot. Talked about fitness, we reminisced on Smash, we talked about some people, how people doing, who we've talked to, how weird niggas are, all that, bro. Just a cool dude. He always been a cool dude growing up. And yeah, bro, it was just nice, like, seeing my favorite Smash page IRL. And yeah, so shout out to fans. But with that being said, yeah, just forgot to mention that, nothing crazy. All right, enjoy the final chapter. So that's pretty much the Smash story, and my last one is called The Future. And what's next for Smash? Well, first things first. Well, when I wrote this notepad down, my intentions was to go to Supernova this year, but I don't think I'm going this year, unfortunately, because like I just don't want to go without my friends. Like, I don't think some of my friends are going, and I don't want to go there without them. So I don't think I'm going to Supernova. However, I think I will be going to Miami. Let's Make Move Miami. When I actually fly out there, you know what I mean, it's going to be lit. Go to Miami, be there. It should be fire. And obviously, the Smash 2 had dropped. Smash 6 is definitely coming. Not anytime soon, but it's definitely coming, and I will be there for that. Hell, when it drops, I will be making a SMASHAHOLIC 2 just for the fuck of it. I mean, just like a callback. And speaking of callback, this is my Smash Ultimate OLED. For my 19th birthday, I just wanted to do a callback to my 14th birthday. You know, just buying myself the Smash Bros. Edition OLED. I even tried to order some stickers for the dock, but they never came for some reason. Like Etsy scammed me. Like I never got my money back from that, but it's whatever. It's whatever. Like, yeah, I just wanted to do that for myself. It was expensive as fuck, but like I'm glad I did it. You know, just because it's just like it's small stuff. Like money don't really matter in this life. Like this costed a lot of money. Do I play it a lot? No, but I'm glad that I was able to recreate the memory of one of the most important moments of my life, and I don't regret it at all. Anyways, something small. Like I do plan to get a Switch 2 down the line. Actually, like around when Bonanza dropped, so that should be fire. And yeah. With that being said, the recording is an hour. I wonder how much editing I'm going to do. I really loved Smash Bros to death, and I really wish I catch it. Like a lot of me glazing and loving Smash Bros is in my archives, but I really just wish like people was around to see when I really love this game, because I really love this game, and it's just sad that like I fell out of love with it. It was really something I thought I would love forever. As long as I had a Switch and Smash, I would play it every single day, and I don't know when the last time I played Smash. It's crazy. But it's just one of the biggest what ifs. Like, what if I never stopped loving them? I'm just so glad that this series came into my life, because it actually genuinely brought me true happiness. So yeah, thank you Masahiro Sakurai, thank you Nintendo for Smash, and thank me for not just shutting it out. I will always remember this, and I'm glad I did this recording, because I'll look back on it so many times. And hopefully other people will watch it. So yeah, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. And yeah, bruh, I'm out this buh. By the way, Chris for Smash, Spring Chat for Smash, Chris for Smash, put it out, like do something. One of those three characters. Alright, I'm out. Have a good day or night. I don't care.